Hello, everyone. Um, just wanting to share some real stuff, that's been going on. Hasn't been good lately. Uh, it's uh, it's been a little turmoil in my life, and only because I let it run away. I ran away with it. I wasn't. I didn't stop what was bound to happen. I lost my cool again and said a lot of things that shouldn't have said, and but it it really sucks. I don't. It's hard to explain that. What I'm feeling is all hurt. Everything that when the dust clears and everything, all the anger and all the frustration and all those negative feelings, just they if you concentrate on them, it runs away it runs away from you. It gets out of control. um but I understand that it's a slip up. It's not like it's not the end of the world for me. I know that. But that I come from a long history of that. I was telling you guys I was gonna make a video about me, and that is me. That I have that issue in my life. I have anger issues. I have and they're really not anger issues. I got to start calling them hurt issues, because I get angry because I get hurt by what other people say or an outside influence. I get hurt by outside influence. I let things hurt me. You know, true or false. You know it, learning to deal with things that hurt you is not easy either. It's really not easy. It's very hard. Like I said, it sucks, because even though I know I need to stop I let my feelings get the best of me, and my thinking ran with it. It ran with it. It's like I didn't even see nothing. There was no. I was blinded or something. You don't see the stop sign. It's not. It's if I felt like I felt failure. I felt failure. I feel like I should have been able to stop that with all the you know good that I have been doing. The changes that I have done. I feel like I failed in stopping that. You know, but now I'm not looking at it as a failure anymore, only because I've had time to think about it. But I like I said, I come from a very long history of violence and people hurting other people. And I grew up, it's from. I mean, let's go ahead and start it off and kick it off. I was 5 or 6 years old, and I saw my dad. I was sleeping, and I heard a commotion. So I go out to the kitchen, and I see my dad choking my brother. I mean, literally. I mean, he had him up in the air against the refrigerator, choking him. And the only thing I remember was freezing. I tried to scream, but I there was nothing coming. I had my mouth open, screaming like I was screaming, but nothing was coming out. And I was, I look at it now. I know I was in shock. I was 5, 6 years old in shock, and I think that was a very hard thing for me to see. And it's just that and other things that always was there. Violence was always there in my life. My brothers used to put me to fight against other kids in the neighborhood, like if we were pit bulls or something, and smack me around and stuff, get me all angry and upset and crying, and then let me loose to this other kid. And more, you know, my parents got divorced when I was early. I didn't have both of them around all the time. You know, I lost my dad when I was 17, and that was rough. I held a lot of anger against my dad, hurt against my dad. I blame my hurt on my dad. I blamed him for leaving me, and he died from a heart attack. How can I blame him for leaving me? And it's not like he wanted to leave. But shit gets real, man. Stuff really does get real, and hurt is real. Hurt is real for me. I've been hurting for as long as I can remember. But it's time to let that hurt go. You know, it's time to move forward. And I'm like I said, it's not my first time around, so I have an advantage. And I went through so much, and I as a teenager, it just took off. It got real bad. It got really bad. There was nothing anyone could tell me to convince me otherwise. I thought fighting and hurting other people was the way, and it's not. It's not the way. That's not the way I want to go. I have convinced myself that I want to help people. I don't want to hurt people. I've been hurting people all my life. I hurt myself. And in hurting myself, all I learned to do was hurt other people as well. So I want to turn that around. But let me tell you some more about myself. Like I said, as a teenager, that anger stuff took off. I was I let the streets raise me. I chose the streets over family, over taking good advice. Um, and I went through some things in life. I did a lot. I did drugs. I mean, I drowned myself in drugs. My drug of choice was crack cocaine. I did a lot of crack cocaine and escaped from every reality around me. Ended up in the streets, homeless, robbing and stealing. I mean, a lot of things that I am not proud of. But if it wasn't for those things, I wouldn't. If it wasn't for the course that my life took, I wouldn't be here today talking. I find that a privilege to be here, an honor to be here and talking about it. It it stirs up a lot of emotions in me to put this stuff out there and keep it real and help you guys with it because I went through a lot and went to prison after all that drug stuff. I started selling drugs, got busted, I almost ended up doing a lot of time. The only smart thing I ever did was give my girl at the time money, to get me out of trouble. But I had made a decision back then when I got locked up that I was going to change. I had to dig myself out of the hole that I dug myself into. It was like a nightmare. I couldn't believe what I had done. But I convinced myself that I was going to get out of there. They couldn't hold me forever. I had a date to get out. I did 4 years. And after the 4 years, I went to a drug rehab in Paterson, New Jersey, which is where I'm from. Uh, Place was called Straight Now. It was, man, I'll never forget this place. This place was a blessing. At this place, I learned a lot of what I know now, a lot of what helps me now. And I want to pay it forward. I want to give it forward. I want other people to hear it. And if you want to help yourself, when you want to, you will. I learned that too there, that people that don't want help didn't stay there. Whether they were there by courts or not. This place was no frills. They stripped you down mentally, physically, and built you back up with positive stuff and taught you how to deal with things and they taught me how to deal with things and love myself and basically, I guess, gave me the basic foundation of what I am doing today to help myself, to look for help, to talk about my problems. And that place taught me that men do cry. Because when I was growing up, you couldn't cry, man. There was no crying in the house. You're a boy. You can't cry. Men don't cry. It's a lie. It's a lie. We all hurt. We all hurt. It's what we do with the hurt that counts. Quitters never win and winners never quit. And it took me a day to bounce back. Thank God. Usually I would go into a depression for 2 or 3 days, and then just eventually come back. But with all and everything I've been doing, I bounce back harder than ever. You know, my mind's still green, and that's what they taught me there to do. They taught me there also was that to keep your memory green, keep your mind green on what you're doing. And I came down here to Florida. When I finished my parole up there, I completed everything. I fulfilled everything. Got out of trouble. Dug myself out of the hole. It was hard. I was walking through the drug spots just to go to work up there. So I had to change at least the environment for me, I thought. So I came down here to Florida and I made a life down here. And I've been blessed ever since. I never looked back. The Lord has blessed me since the day I came down. And it was a little rough at first, but it's always been on good terms with God since I've been down here because I always end up looking for him. And don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Just don't give up. That's all I gotta say is don't give up because when you give up, it just gets deeper. You do stupider things. Try to stop it when you can. Try to stop it as soon as you can. You know, um, there's a crisis text line too. It's like a new hotline instead of calling you text now. You text home 731-731, and you could talk to people there if you're that bad, talk to someone, talk and get it out, get it off your chest, and you'll feel a lot better. It does help. God bless. Take care, and be good to one another. Have a wonderful day.